My name is Leanna. So this is a generally like a part two of what I talked about last night. I had recently finished. I had watched the Unknown Number, the high school catfish. The one thing that I really wanted to kind of point out in the grand scheme of things, if you haven't watched it, trigger warning and also spoiler alert. I rather prefer you watch it beforehand before I give you like my general thoughts. So if you haven't watched it, go watch it and then come back. But the thing that I really mainly want to talk about is the mother of Lauren. Her name is Lauren. What's the child's name? Okay, so Lauren is her name. Her mother's name is Kendra. Okay, all right. I think it's kind of crazy that Lauren's mother. It was Lauren's mother the entire time because like the way of how it was put, I was thinking that it was one of the kids that was doing it because normally that's usually what happens, but in this case it was the mother, and so the mother was trying to play the victim because she was SA'd as a child, and so she didn't want her child to be SA'd. But I'm like, what relates to what you were doing? Anyways, because what you were doing, you were being a predator and not necessarily protecting your child because you told your child to go kill herself. Kendra, I thought that was the wild part of that whole thing. And any mother that tries to put their child as the villain to make them the victim, I think that they shouldn't be a parent at all. They wasted a life that could have been towards somebody who actually deserved it in my case, because no good parent would, one, harass their child, lie about their child, or also just make their child like they're unworthy into the world. And I really hate the fact that she was putting her insecurities onto her daughter, because what if the worst case scenario that her daughter did, go off herself? This reminds me a little bit of 13 Reasons Why. I don't think it's a good comparison because I think that watching 13 Reasons Why was more like a religion take in per se, because I know like it was bad into more the religion circle of that, but like there was really no plot to why Hannah did what she did, but went on a wild goose chase of like leaving the tapes and everything. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, like if it was more so of a leading plot of, oh, well, so-and-so did this, but it was more like a individual type thing, like everybody made me lead to this type thing, which looking back, was kind of confusing in a sense. This was more of a leading case to why somebody would do something like that. Thankfully, like Lauren didn't like take her life in a sense, but God forbid if that happened, it would be on the mother. And so I thought that the mother had gotten a slap on the wrist, really, because more so with the text and reading the text too was more so older driven. I don't think a child at 16 has that type. I mean, I don't, granted with a walk of life or whatever, but that's more of an adult, type thing. And granted, the mother was all in her daughter's life of like being her coach and everything like that. I think it's just mind boggling. I mean, you kind of, when you connect the dots, it's just like, okay, I get it. But it's just like still kind of shocked that she went a whole year to do what she did for her daughter. I genuinely don't think that the father and daughter knew what she was doing, because when the cops was on the porch talking to the dad was like, really was like, what the fuck, right? And the daughter was like still processing everything. So I don't think what Chloe's parents were blaming that that the dad and the daughter are going to be the victim, because they are. Her mother was harassing her and told her to kill herself. And so I don't think that was right. And they're not really good heroes to blame, because they thought that they believed her daughter was the one that did it, So I thought that was really kind of like, a fuck what type thing. Like, how you going to do that and you didn't even believe your daughter when your daughter was telling you the whole time that she wasn't the one that was doing it type thing, right? So yeah, that's my kind of take onto it. I know I'm going to have to speed it up because it's longer than 3 minutes. So bye.